Hello everybody and welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Noonesland version 2 for all platforms. And the reason I paused there at that is, well, we've already had a map called Noonesland from the same map author, except that was a 4X map available for PC and Mac players only. This is a standard map and seemingly has the same name, but it's completely different. So I would refer to this map as Noonesland, because of course you can't have two maps with the same name that are completely different. That wouldn't make any sense. But before that, this video is brought to you by Frank Hendrickson and Two Biglies. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Noonesland map can be found at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now let me read you some of the description. The Last Frontier. This is a survival map for single player or multiplayer. Have tons of fun building the massive farm, compete against other players, and compare results. This map has 44 farmlands with very basic startup equipment, good farming. This map is 51 megabytes to download. Now, if we jump over to all of Farmer Bob's maps, and we scroll down here, we'll see that we have Noonesland, how I'm calling it, and Noonesland. Noonesland is a standard map. Don't be fooled by the preview image because it looks nothing like this, and is available for all platforms. Noonesland is a 4X map that is once again a survival style map, once again by Farmer Bob, but since it is 4X, is by PC and Mac players only. And that's the PDA for Noonesland. Completely different than the PDA for Noonesland, as we can see here. So what is this map? Is it Noonesland? Is it Noonesland? Or is it something else? Let's jump back over here to the map and, well, let's take a look at the PDA. Now, the description calls this a survival style map. And I have to say, I agree, it is somewhat a survival style map, but it doesn't really fit the bill because we have several predefined fields. We have the ability to running contracts on those predefined fields, and to some degree, we have a few sell points and other things placed here as well. We start out by having all of the crops available to us in Farm Sim 25 available to us on this map. And if we take a look at our farmland, you'll see we start out by owning Farmland ID 1 and Farmland ID 45. So Farmland ID 45 is the land across the river. Meanwhile, Farmland ID 1 is going to be the entirety of the river, all of the grasslands, and then all of the road networks and the sell points and other areas that basically are not fields. We also start up owning Field 1 right here, which is going to be fairly small in size compared to the total farmland that is a part of Farmland ID 1. That is also going to consist of the main starting farm here, which is going to be just north of Fields 10 and 29. Should you choose to not own the starting farm, well, you will not own Farmland ID 1. And as a result, you'll need $4.9 million to buy it. Now, with respect to the Precision Farming soil map, this map is making use of the generic soil map that is part of the Precision Farming mod. So let's go ahead and see how that is being applied to these fields. So I'm no mapper, and it's a bit interesting because we've observed this behavior in a few other maps where we do not see the soil map being exposed for all the fields when I run the command that should show all soil mappings for all the fields. So I don't know if that means that these fields aren't fully defined in the XML or what that really means, because again, I'm not a map author, so I'm not really sure the ins and outs of that. So we can only see a little bit of the generic soil map. We also do have the standard FS25 crop counter that is a part of this map. With respect to animals, we do not own any animals at the start. We do have contracts available because this is kind of a hybrid map where we have several predefined fields. As far as productions go, we have one production that is pre-placed on this map, and that is going to be the sawmill. With respect to sell points, we once again have one sell point that is pre-placed. That is going to be the farmer's market. That is going to accept everything as far as all of our crops and our producible goods. We do start out with a little bit of basic farm machinery should we choose to own the farm. Should we choose to not own the starting farm, we will also not have any starting machinery. Now, while the statistics do say that we have 25 collectibles, we do not. So I did run the command to show all collectibles on the map. Typically, we would see little dots appear here, there, and yonder on the PDA. They did not appear. Therefore, there are no collectibles. I think this is going to be a residual of one of the collectible files, basically still sitting in the map XML set, but they're not actually placed here on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting equipment. Taking a look at our garage menu, we start out with our International Series 200 pickup truck. We also have the Massey Ferguson 5709S small tractor. We have the Rudolph TDK 301 RP trailer. We have the Agrimaz POV 5XL plow, as well as the John Deere 980 cultivator and the Great Plains Solid Stand 1500 seeder. We've got our Hardy Mega 1200L sprayer for herbicide and liquid fertilizer. For our harvesting needs, we have the Massey Ferguson 8570, the 8570 header, and the 8570 header trailer. And then we wrap it all up with a 1,000 kilogram front weight. As far as mods and DLCs for this map, we do not have any. I'm just going to quickly tab over to our starting farm location. We can pull up the PDA and see where that is specifically. And here at our starting farm, we do have a fuel storage. And I will say, if we choose to not own the farm, this area will be completely void of buildings. In fact, the only thing here at the farm, should we choose to not own it, is going to be Walter. So Walter's just kind of hanging out here. So we do have the ability to sell everything you see here on the starting farm, including the fence. As far as our farm buildings go, well, we have our silo, and we have the shed over there, as well as the gas storage and our farmhouse. And that's it. That is pretty much the starting farm. Now, our first field is just down the way. Right here we have field 1, and the rest of these fields are going to have to be purchased. If we continue to make our way south, we're going to find our sawmill, the sole production that is available on this map. So we have our dump point for our logs, we have our pallet spawn point, we have our wood cell trigger, and our interactive icon. And, well, Noah's just hanging out, seeing what you got to do. Now, we do have a bit of just kind of dirt down here south of the sawmill. I think it's kind of interesting we have a sawmill because we really don't, on this map, have too many really harvestable trees. So this might be an area where you come and plant the trees that you will eventually use your sawmill for. Or you do have a little bit of a building area where you can build out and make some more sell points or other productions. We make our way back up to the north a little bit, north of field 12. We do have our animal dealer. So we have our animal buy trigger located right here, hanging out with Kate. We do not have the ability to buy liquid slurry or manure here at this particular animal dealer. Just down the road and north of our dealer, we have our vehicle shop. So let's go ahead and pick something up. Just like Riverbend Springs, our new vehicles are going to spawn here right in front of these bay doors, and our dealership trigger is going to be located over here at the side building. We do have the ability to purchase fuel as well here at our dealership. Continuing down the main drag here, where we do have traffic, we're going to find the sole sell point available on this map. That is going to be the farmer's market, where on the left, we're going to be able to sell palletized goods, and on the right, we're going to be able to sell our grain. You will see that we do have a dot kind of hanging out there right by field 42. Let's go ahead and make our way up there. And that's where we're going to find Ben, just kind of hanging out. David's also just kind of hanging out over there between fields 38 and 40. Now, part of Farmland ID 1 is going to be this rolling grassland that we can see here. It does extend around the eastern side of the map a bit. And then we have the river, which we do own, so we could landscape this and raise the ground levels above the river. We do have a little bit of a land bridge over here on the western side of the map. And then again, Farmland ID 45, which we do own at the start, is going to be the area here north of the river. So here we have that little bit of a land bridge. And since we do own the river, we should be able to very easily landscape this. Let's come in here and let's go with level and make our cursor a little bit bigger, and we'll just bring the land up to form a nice bridge. Just like that, we'll soften this transition. And now we have a nice, simple land bridge to get from one side of the river to the next. With respect to painting of textures, we do have the fairly standard ground textures available to us on this map, as well as fairly standard trees and plants. And that's pretty much it. Is this No One's Land? I beg to differ, because we've already had a map released with that name. While it was only for Mac and PC, still, it's a map released for that name. This isn't a console version of that map, because, well, the PDAs are drastically different. This, as best as I can tell, is Noonesland. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to the map naming and this map overall. What do you think of wilderness-style maps or survival-style maps that are pretty much already kind of set up with fields and road network, albeit a little bare on the production and sell points? Until next time, happy farming.